If your income depends on a screen, let me be clear. Dry eyes headache is not some cute little wellness problem. It is a hidden tax, a focus tax, a productivity tax. Eye strain can include dry or watery eyes, blurred or double vision, light sensitivity, and headache. Dry eye can also bring burning, grittiness, blurred vision, and trouble with contact lenses. That means the thing wrecking your concentration may be sitting right in front of your face all day. And here's the part people hate hearing. You can't talk about building wealth, leveling up, or locking in while your visual system is running on fumes. Nobody tells you this because it sounds too boring for social media. But screen-related dry eye has been linked with altered blinking dynamics, digital eye strain, and even work productivity impairment in people who use digital devices heavily. That is not drama. That is your daily performance leaking out in slow motion. Stop blaming caffeine. Stop blaming stress. Stop calling it just one of those days. Here's the truth. Sometimes your headache is not coming from your brain first. It is coming from visual overload. Dry eye and eye strain often travel together because the eye surface gets unstable, your vision fluctuates, and then your eyes keep working harder to stay comfortable and focused. That extra effort can spill into your forehead, temples, and mood. Think about how insane that is. You're trying to make money with the very tool that may be draining your ability to make it. The screen is the paycheck. The screen is also the trigger. The American Academy of Ophthalmology and Mayo both describe screen use, poor breaks, and visual strain as part of the setup for dry, irritated eyes and headache symptoms. So no, this is not weakness. It is a system problem. And if you keep treating it like random bad luck, you stay stuck. Maybe this is you. You wake up fine by 11 a.m. Your eyes feel sandy by 2 p.m. The words on the screen look just a little softer. You start squinting without noticing. You rub your eyes. You lean closer. Then the headache shows up like a debt collector. Not dramatic enough to send you home. Just bad enough to slow every decision you made. That is how people lose whole afternoons without realizing what started the slide. Then you do what everybody does. More coffee, more painkillers, more push through it. Maybe you even buy another random gadget because the internet told you your problem needs a product, not a habit change. Meanwhile, digital eye strain reviews describe the exact cluster people complain about: dry eyes, blurred vision, foreign body sensation, watering, and headache. The pattern is common. The denial is even more common. Nobody wants to admit their hustle setup is part of the problem. Here's the brutal part. Most people treat the loudest symptom, not the first symptom. They chase the headache because the headache feels expensive. But the earlier bill often started with the eyes. Dry eye can cause burning, stinging, blurred vision, light sensitivity, and eye fatigue. Eye strain can pile on difficulty concentrating, headache, and sore neck or shoulders. So what feels like my head is the issue may actually be your whole visual system begging for better conditions. And that matters because bad fixes waste time. If the screen glare, blinking habits, contacts, or prescription are part of the chain, then just numbing the pain does not solve the chain. It just hides the invoice for a few hours. Research reviews on digital screen use describe dry eye and altered blinking dynamics as part of the problem. And dry eye severity has been associated with worse work productivity and activity impairment. In plain English, discomfort turns into underperformance. Why does this happen? Because your eyes are not cameras. They are living tissue running on lubrication, muscle coordination, lighting conditions, and attention. When you stare at screens for long stretches, blinking patterns can change. That makes the tear film less stable. Add glare, dry air, contacts, or a prescription that is slightly off, and now your eyes are making tiny emergency adjustments all day. That is where the dry eyes headache loop starts to make ugly sense. Let me say it the finance way. This is visual overdraft. Tiny withdrawals all day. Squinting, refocusing, rubbing, leaning in. Light sensitivity, bad posture, screen glare. Nobody notices the first few charges. Then by late afternoon, your account is negative and the headache is the overdraft fee. Mayo and the AO both point to self-care steps like breaks, artificial tears, and fixing the setup because the system fails under chronic strain, not because you suddenly became fragile at 3:17 a.m. p.m. Pattern interrupt. Stop buying confidence from fake fixes. Here's the truth nobody tells you. If your daily habits are bad enough, no supplement, no productivity playlist, and no grindset speech is going to rescue your eyes. You cannot outmotivate poor lighting, bad screen breaks, dry air, or nonstop close-up focus. If self-care steps do not relieve eye strain, Mayo says that is when you see an eye specialist, not after 6 more months of guessing, after the pattern is obvious, and stop confusing symptom masking with healing. Mayo specifically notes that non-prescription artificial tears can help mild dry eye symptoms, and also warns that some redness remover drops may worsen dry eye symptoms. That should wake you up. Not every bottle marketed to tired people is actually helping tired eyes. Some people are literally paying to keep the cycle going. That is not self-care. That is retail therapy with side effects. Here's the fix that actually earns its keep. First, lubricate the surface if mild dryness is part of the picture. Mayo says non-prescription artificial tears are often enough for occasional or mild dry eye symptoms. Second, fix the environment. Reduce blowing air from vents or fans. Use a humidifier if the room is dry. Third, stop treating breaks like optional. The AAO recommends looking away from the screen regularly, and the 20-20-20 rule is a common strategy for digital eye strain. Fourth, audit the real triggers: glare, screen angle, brightness, contact lens wear, prescription drift, workstation distance. Nobody tells you this because it is less sexy than buying another gadget, but boring fixes win. Research reviews also describe digital eye strain management in terms of blinking more, reducing glare, improving lighting, and taking regular breaks. That is the real play. Protect the input system that drives your output. Because when your eyes stop fighting you, your brain gets hours of clean capacity back. And before you click off thinking, cool, so it's just dry eye, hold on. Because this is where people get reckless. Not every headache with eye discomfort is a harmless screen problem. Not every red eye is just tired eyes. Not every blurry day is something to self-diagnose on TikTok. That kind of lazy certainty is how people miss the moment when routine discomfort turns into something that needs actual medical attention. So ask the right question. Is it predictable, screen-linked discomfort that improves with rest and better habits? Or is it escalating, weird, painful, and different from your normal pattern? Because those are not the same thing. Mayo's eye pain guidance says severe eye pain with headache, sudden vision changes, nausea or vomiting, or halos around lights can be emergency territory. Translation: don't let a familiar keyword trick you into ignoring an unfamiliar danger sign. Reality check: dry eyes and headache can absolutely overlap through eye strain, visual fatigue, and screen habits. But dry eye does not automatically explain every headache, and that matters. If you get the worst headache of your life, a sudden severe headache, confusion, trouble speaking, fainting, weakness, or major vision changes, Mayo says that is emergency level, not "I need more eye drops" level. Same with the eye itself: severe eye pain, sudden vision change, halos around lights, red eye with nausea or vomiting, double vision. Those are not little productivity annoyances. Those are stop the video signs. Get checked now. Because the most expensive mistake is assuming a familiar symptom cluster means you already know the answer. That's how smart people talk themselves into dumb delays. And dumb delays are brutal when vision is involved. Now, the good news. For a lot of people, this is not some mysterious curse. It is a solvable pattern. Screen-linked dry eye and eye strain are common, and the same research that describes the problem also points to manageable strategies: breaks, blinking, better lighting, less glare, and treatment targeted to the actual cause. Once you stop acting like your body is betraying you and start treating it like a system, the whole thing becomes less emotional and more fixable. Here's the mindset shift. Your eyes are not an accessory. They are an earning asset. If you write, trade, code, design, edit, analyze, or manage your life through screens, protecting your visual system is not self-indulgence. It is maintenance. It is risk control. It is productivity insurance. And research on digital screen users has linked dry eye not just to discomfort, but also to mental health burden and work productivity loss. So no, taking this seriously is not soft. It is strategic. So here's the move. Audit your screen habits. Fix the lighting. Use breaks like they matter. Treat dry eyes early if that's part of the pattern. And if the symptoms keep showing up, get a real eye exam instead of pretending you're too busy to protect the thing you use to make decisions all day. Let me be clear. This video is educational, not a diagnosis, and it is not a substitute for medical care. If symptoms are severe, unusual, or worsening, see a qualified clinician. If you want more high-retention breakdowns on hidden wealth leaks like this, the stuff that quietly wrecks focus, energy, and performance, subscribe. Then go watch the next video on screen habits, productivity, and the invisible cost nobody warns you about. And if this hit a nerve, leave a comment with your story, your symptom pattern, or the habit that made the biggest difference for you. That helps shape the next one.